Interesting.
Virginia Beach.
I learned something new every day working with you, Dave.
Yeah, well,
Fun facts. I bet it's a big hot spot this time of year with family vacations.
Mount Trashmore?
Yeah.
Well, you should read about it. It's an interesting thing, ecological
I'm about
to. Hey, rain is easing in Florida. Boy, we got some good news.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, rain-swollen waterways in the greater Tampa area, they're still rising, and that has brought more evacuations this morning in Pasco County. This is north of Tampa. Our own Mike Seidel reports from Newport Richey about the severe threat in days to come as well, because it doesn't end today. Tomorrow, we've got a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon. That's a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of southeast Kansas cities, parts of western Missouri, northwest Arkansas, and northeast Oklahoma. So mainly where those 4 states come together, that's going to be our hot spot. We're expecting for at least the chance of tornadoes. Now, hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes possible again on Thursday. We're going to watch this area into Minnesota, parts of the Dakotas, also Nebraska and Iowa, but we've got a second area off to the south and east. Notice just about the entire state of Kentucky, all of Tennessee in the zone on Thursday. So really anywhere from southeastern Missouri and the eastern parts of Arkansas all the way over into coastal sections of Virginia, North Carolina. So we've got a lot of real estate to watch for that threat as we get into the day Thursday. Into late week, we've got these 2 upper level disturbances. They're moving east. They're going to come together. And as this developing storm moves eastward, it's able to tap into that moisture. We've got that moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico, also out of the Atlantic for a late week. So the threat of storms will move east each day, could bring some heavy rain showers as well with that moisture in play. Severe thunderstorms tomorrow in places like Tulsa, southeast Kansas, parts of Arkansas. Thursday, notice Nashville and Memphis, both big cities in the state of Tennessee, under the threat. And then by Friday, coastal parts of the... All right, 53 minutes past the hour. I'm here in the lab with hurricane specialist Carl Parker. We've been watching Guillermo for a few days. You know, we've been talking about the impacts look like they're not going to be much of an issue for Hawaii, except for one piece of good news. And I like the way you framed it last time we chatted, because I think certain people are going to be really excited.
Very excited about this. Yes, absolutely. So right now what we're watching is a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It's moving northwest at 10 miles per hour. We don't think it's going to get any stronger. You see in the orange there's a lot of dry air on the west side of the circulation. You see how the clouds are moving off to the north and east. That's because there's stronger upper level wind that's coming in. So you got wind shear, you got dry air. Everything's going to serve to make this thing weaker as it approaches the islands. And we think the center of the storm is going to be well north of the Hawaiian island chain. So not a lot of direct impacts, maybe some heavier rain from time to time, but we are going to see a lot of wave action being generated. This is the good news that you talked about. We're thinking the surf on the north shore there could be 9 feet or higher. That's going to be Wednesday going into Thursday, 10 to 12 foot breakers offshore. So yeah, this is good news if you're a surfer.
They're already packing up the car. They're getting it ready. All right, I got to get my rest, because you know the beaches are going to be packed.
You know, that's one of the things that I really, really want to do someday, is go out there and see a real big day in Hawaii, because I've heard that you can feel the waves crashing when you're on the beach. Yeah, you can feel a little earthquake essentially. There's so much vibration that comes because there's so much mass.
And it would make sense.
Yeah, so just tremendous weight.
So you get your own experience while you watch other people actually try to catch that's not for me.
It's amazing. It's amazing what those guys do.
I don't know how they do it, but it's got to be a cool thing. So if you're on vacation in Hawaii, you could get lucky and get to see quite a show.
Absolutely, yeah. And then behind that, we're watching an invest area. It's now being given an 80% chance of developing in the next 5 days. It's generally going to be headed towards Hawaii. So that is the next thing that we're going to keep our eyes on this side of the Pacific Ocean.
All right. And then we go to the other side where all the action has been in this incredibly strong storm.
Unbelievably strong storm. Topped out at 180 yesterday, 150 today, so it's still a super typhoon. That's the benchmark for a super typhoon. Typhoon, of course, just the equivalent of a hurricane. They're called typhoons in this part of the world. And there's a visible image from yesterday, a loop here of super rapid scan visible images. And this came from when the storm was peaking in intensity. And look how fast that little core is right around the eye there. I mean, that's where it's really happening, right around that eye wall. That's where the incredibly strong wind is. You can also see the little mesovortices going around and around in the eye there. Just absolutely beautiful satellite imagery. And, you know, as strong a storm as you're ever going to see. They don't get much stronger than that.
Absolutely. And every day we get a picture or an image of this and think it can't get any more incredible. And then we see yet another. But
that is just unbelievable. That's just an amazing loop right there. Which is not a big surprise because they have a lot of history with typhoons. And so somebody said, said a long time ago, you know what, forget this, I'm going to go to the other side of the island, and that's where everybody decided to live over time. And here is Taipei. Now, Taipei is a very big metro area, 3 million people in the city, 7 million in the metro. That is Taipei 101. That was the world's tallest building in the late 2000s until the Burj Khalifa was built, 1,700 feet, so that's 3 Washington monuments on top of each other. And it was built to withstand winds of 134 miles per hour.
All right, so this is all stronger. Do we think it'll weaken beyond those limits?
You know, it's difficult to say. I mean, I don't know that we'll get wind like that in Taiwan itself, in Taipei itself. Certainly on the east side of Taiwan, I think that's more of a possibility. What's interesting about this building is that there's this thing at the top called a tuned mass damper, and it's a 700-ton weight at the top of the building. So as the building sways to one side, it moves over to the other side to keep the mass in the middle of the building.
If everything's working right.
If everything's working right.
Otherwise, we're going down, right?
Always the best case.